What's up? I'm not gonna be too loud here because um, I don't know, everyone's asleep and that's just me kind of doing my thing here at night. I'm gonna record a couple lessons for this week and I just feel like why not, Not I'm not gonna watch any TV or sit on my phone. I might as well just get some work done. So here I am. It's probably daytime for you, but it's nighttime for me. And this is gonna be lesson 7. And we're kind of putting everything together here. And I'm just going to be completely honest, last week, I'm sure you kids had a really good feel for last week and what we were doing. And let me just kind of piggyback off what we were doing last week. Last week, remember, we had, oh my gosh, that's a horrible line, but let's just imagine that these lines are parallel. Okay, and then we had a transversal. And we kind of identified what lines were small and what angles were small and what angles were big. So remember, if I told you this angle was 70 degrees, and then I asked you to find this angle, well, you kids kind of identified that, hey, this is an acute angle, it's small. This is an acute angle, it's small. They look alike, so they're going to be the same. This guy's going to be 70 degrees. And what we did is we had two options. We either kept things the same, right? In math terms, that means we set them equal to each other, okay, right? These guys are equal. We can set them equal to each other. Or we had this rare instance to where we had a small angle. Let me erase this guy down here. And they wanted us to find, let's say, like a big angle. Okay, so they gave us an acute angle or a small angle, and they wanted us to find an obtuse angle, which is a big angle. And they weren't the same. In that case, they were different. Okay, now when they're different, right, that means that we just subtracted from 180. But what we're going to do here is we're actually going to add these angles together. We're going to add them together and set them equal to 180. That's what's going to be a little different here. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so remember, if they're the same, we're going to set them equal. If they're different, we're going to add them and set them equal to 180. Okay, see what it says solve for x here? That's what we're doing. All right, so number 19, hopefully you had already printed out your notes. We only have 6 problems today, which is quite easy and simple. And let's kind of take a peek at this. Now, what's weird about this problem is the transversal is going straight up and down, which means that really all of these angles, all of them, are 90 degrees. Every single angle you see here is 90. So this is kind of a weird situation, okay? It's unique. Okay, can you see how they're all 90 degrees? Well, that would mean, right, that this angle right here is 90 degrees. So we can set this equal to anything else, right? They're all the same. Every single one is the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and since they're the same, right, we would set them equal. So we're going to say 21x plus 6 equals, and what do all these angles equal? They equal 90 degrees. Okay, this is a very rare case. All right, so I'm just letting you know this one's a little unique. Okay, so let's go ahead and slide that guy over by subtracting 6, 21x equals, it looks like it's 84. Divide 21, and x is 4. Okay, so if you're lost after that first problem, that's okay. Okay, because like I said, that first problem was kind of weird and it was very unique. Everything after this is going to be smooth sailing, trust me. I told you it's night. I'm not drinking a beer or anything like that, so don't think I am. But guess what? I'm old, and if I wanted to do that, I guess I could, but I guess I couldn't because I'm actually teaching right now. So it's kind of a weird situation, right? I'm home. I'm recording a teaching video. Yeah, probably not the best idea. So I'm drinking sparkling water. So exciting, right? Okay, life of a old man. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at 20. Right now, this is when it starts to get really simple. Okay, you can identify that this angle here is acute. It's small. you can identify that this angle here is acute. It's small. And actually, these angles look exactly the same. If you copy and pasted and just slid this up, it looks like this guy right here would slide right into that spot. So if they're the same, remember what we said? We set them equal to each other. So we'll say, hey, 75 equals this guy over here, which is 11x minus 2. Okay, add the 2 to the other side. So what? Plus 2, plus 2. And it looks like we get 77 equals 11x. Okay, divide 11, and x is 7. So it's so simple. This lesson is so simple because if they look the same, you set them equal. If they look different, you add them and set them equal to 180. Okay, so do we have any problems here that look different though? These are all the same. Like every single one, it looks like they're the same. So what's going to be tricky, because we don't see it in this lesson necessarily, is, and maybe I'll have to just give you a problem to do on your own in this lesson so you can see it, but why don't you go ahead and try number 21 on your own? Okay, so look at 21, figure out what you think you should do, press pause, and when you're done with 21, press play, and then we'll come back and we'll do it together. Okay, so 21, look, small acute angle, small acute angle. Okay, if you have small and small, guess what you do? You set them equal. Okay, so we're going to say 8x minus 4 equals 60. Add 4 to both sides. Boom. 8x equals 64. Divide 8, divide 8, x equals 8. Okay? Now, I want to make sure that you're equipped with all the tools you need to be successful in the homework. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come up with a problem on my own. And I'm going to have you kids do it because I think it's important for you to see all the type of problems before you attack the homework. Okay, so let's just say that we have two parallel lines. Use your imagination because you know my drawings are garbage. Okay, it's not my best ever and it's definitely not my worst ever. Okay, let's do something like this. That's gonna work, I think. Okay, so in this case, I want you to solve for x. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is probably press pause, copy the problem down, okay, or press pause and solve the problem, and then go ahead and press play and we can go over it, all right? So what happens in this problem, and let's look because it's unique, excuse me, it's the carbonated water, is we have an acute angle here. It's small. So you can even just say, okay, this dude's small. And what we have down here is an obtuse angle. It's open, it's big. So we're not going to set these equal because they're not the same. We would need small and small, right? Not small and big. So what I told you is we have that unique scenario to where we need to add these and set them equal to 180. So let's add them. We'll say 2x plus 24 plus 8x plus 16 equals 180. Okay, so let's combine like terms. 2x and 8x is 10x. And then we have 24 and 16, I think, is 40, equals 180. Okay, then you got to subtract this 40 over to the other side. Minus 40, gone. 10x equals 140, and x equals 14. Okay, can you see how we solve that type of problem? That's like one of the problems where it's like, hey, they're not the same. they're different. And when they're different, you got to add them and set them equal to 180. Okay, so I'm just going to start throwing some problems at you now, and we're going to practice. Okay, let's come back to our worksheet. I'm actually going to get rid of that. You can snap a picture on that if you need to, because guess what? You can pause anytime, snap pictures, because you can do that. Let's come back and do number 22 as a class. So I'm going to have you do this one on your own. Press pause, solve it. When you're done, press play, and we'll go over it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so it looks like we have, for me, I'm thinking, okay, obtuse, really open. Okay, I'm also thinking obtuse, really open. So if I have obtuse and obtuse, or big and big, that means they're going to be the same, right? So I'm going to set them equal. So I'm going to set the one guy, x plus 139, equal to the other guy, which is 132. I'm going to subtract 139 from both sides. Okay, and it looks like I have x equals -7. Remember, you can have a negative number for your x. That's okay. Right? What you can't have is a negative angle. Okay, so you can have an x be negative. Right, now let's do one more problem, maybe two, I don't know, see how I'm feeling, if I'm getting tired yet. I have one more lesson to record anyway, so whether I'm tired or not, I'm doing it. Then I might go on my phone for a little bit and crash out. Okay. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to do something like this. Let's say okay, directions, solve for x. Okay, so if you want to copy it down, you can. If you don't, don't. But I do want you to solve it. I want you to press pause, and I want you to press play when you're done so we can go over it. Alrighty. Not really digging this flavor of LaCroix, which stinks because I have a whole case of it. All right, now we have an acute angle down here. It's small. It's less than 90 degrees. We have an obtuse angle up here. Obtuse, big. So it looks like we have down here small. It looks like we have up here big. Okay, they're different. Okay, which means if they're different, we're not going to set them equal. We're going to add them and set them equal to 180. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add them. 2x plus 10 plus 3x plus 25 equals 180. At this point, we are going to combine like terms. 2x and 3x is 5x. Excuse me. 10x plus 25 is 35 equals 180. And I'm getting scared about my math right now because we're going to see what happens. Minus 35. Okay, 5x equals 145. Divide by 5, divide by 5. 29? I don't know. Oh man, embarrassing. Well, I'm a math teacher, right? I should be able to do this stuff in my head. But I don't know. Maybe it's right, maybe it's not. We'll never know. So, hey, that's the lesson for today. You got 10 homework problems to crush right now, and then we've got one more lesson to do after that short one. And it's just actually one more step on the lesson we just did, real easy. And then you got some homework and you'll be done for the day. All right, bet.